What's up? What's going on, guys? This is Talking Sports Podcast with Adam and Alec, episode 32. This episode, we are wrapping up the NCAA Men's National Championship, March Madness, Final Four, all ended this past Monday. Fantastic game, fantastic tournament, big-time Cinderella story. Adam, what has been your brightest moment of the March Madness tournament?
Man, this has been an incredible tournament. I mean, you look at how there was not a perfect bracket making it through the first round. That shows you how crazy March Madness is. You got the crazy Cinderella, St. Peter's making it to the Elite Eight, first time a 15 seeds ever done that. Kansas was the only one seed in the Final Four, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, Duke was a 2, Villanova was a 2. So Kansas was the only one seed that did anything, and obviously they went on to win it all. But I think the bright spot for me, two things. Obviously with St. Peter's, because I did not think they were going to do anything. Obviously, no one did. That's what Cinderella teams are. So first off, St. Peter's, just seeing their run and their team. The whole country fell in love with their team and with Doug, who now has entered the transfer portal. I don't know if you saw that with their coach leaving as well. But St. Peter's and then North Carolina was another part that I loved about March Madness this season. Even though as an 8th seed, making it all the way to the championship, came up a little bit short. They should have won. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, I've talked about it. My man, Brady Minnick, big fan of Brady. I'm excited for his future to see if he'll go to the NBA. But they had a great season in the first season of Hubert Davis as their coach. So they were a really fun team to watch this year. So those are my two parts that I loved about March Madness this year.
I think the coolest part about March Madness, other than St. Peter's going off, was the Duke-UNC Final Four matchup.
Yeah,
which we'll actually talk about right now. But I think storybook ending, that was probably the best thing they could have had besides the national championship game of those two. But speaking of that game, it was played, Friday night. It's the second game of the two Final Four games. North Carolina, Duke, third time these two teams have played. They split the two regular season matchups. In a matchup in the ACC tournament, North Carolina got bounced out earlier by Virginia Tech, I believe, who ended up beating Duke in the final.
Yeah. Looking
at this game, 81-77, this was the game that we all thought it would be. Colby Love, 28 points, played all 40 minutes. Same thing with Leaky Black. He played all 40 minutes. One thing I told you earlier, they only had 2 bench points by Pooh Johnson, I believe. So, and they were free throws.
Yeah.
Which makes it even better. Like I've been saying this whole tournament, UNC doesn't have a lot of bench depth, and having 2 points in a Final Four game off your bench, that kind of shows if they did get in foul trouble, they probably weren't going to be successful.
Yeah, that's true.
Baycott did foul out in the game. He had 5 fouls. He still played 33 minutes, so it was later in the game.
21 rebounds as well.
Yeah, insane rebound game there.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of insane rebounding totals in this tournament.
I think he set a record or was close to setting a record for total rebounds in the whole tournament. I think he had close to 100 rebounds, which is absolutely insane.
That's 6 games. Geez, that is insane.
It's insane.
A couple other guys from this UNC team that put up numbers. RJ Davis had 18 points. Brady Minnick had 14. Baycott had 11. Leaky Black had 8. So obviously Love went off. That's kind of – I saw a stat earlier Monday that anytime Love has scored 20-plus, they haven't lost. And we'll talk about that in this championship game. Colby Love didn't really show up.
No.
But looking on the other side, Duke, Paolo Banchero had 20. He did what everyone expected him to do. He's going to be a high draft pick in this NBA draft. Maybe he goes to Thunder. We'll see. But Keels off the bench had 19. He played 29 points. Looks like he played most of it for Williams, who only had 17 minutes. Really, Pinchero and Moore Jr. are the only two guys with double figures. Other than that, and Keel is the only three guys with double figures. Other than that, it's no one higher than 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This was a very good game, probably the game everyone wanted. What was your take from this game?
Yeah, this game was crazy. It was back and forth the whole way. I was obviously rooting for North Carolina, so I was happy with the outcome. But man, what a ride it's been for Coach K. How many seasons? 40 seasons or whatever? Like what?
Yeah.
Like that's just unfathomable to think about. And how dominant he's been as a coach and how dominant his Duke teams have been. Definitely a legend. And it's crazy to think about how North Carolina spoiled his last home game and then knocks him out in the Final Four. Like that is just crazy to think about. North Carolina just had their number, it seemed like. But great games from Baycott. I mean, talking about the 21 rebounds. I mean, that's just crazy. That dude was all over the place this tournament. Love, like you talked about, was a big part in them winning that game, especially late down the. He made some really big plays to seal the game. I think we talked about it last week that we weren't sure if UNC was going to be able to. I know you were talking about it. I was for North Carolina, but then putting up 80 points to hang with Duke, but they did. And what was it? Four of their 5 starters were in double figures, so they scored and it was a great game.
Yeah, and Leaky Black, Kobe Love, they both played all 40 minutes, which is insane. And Cheryl only played 39. I think he got taken out right before the end of the first half, like 20 seconds left or something like that. But this is definitely a game that everyone wanted, and it lived up to the hype. Mentioned something about Coach K. His successful career. Whether you love the guy or hate the guy, you have to recognize that the dude is one of the best coaches in basketball history.
Definitely.
Year in and year out, he was always getting these guys together, making deep runs for the most part, unless you get upset by 15 seed. It happens. But Coach K, an excellent coach. I don't know. I mean, I don't have enough words to say about Coach K. I liked Coach K as a coach because he's successful. How can you not like him? Very good coach. Great run. Sucks to see that it didn't end in a championship for him because I feel like that would be the cherry on top of the ice cream. But still, heck of a run, heck of a career. We'll see what John Shire can do as head coach now at Duke. The other game on Friday, Villanova at Kansas. This is one that we both kind of agreed Kansas was going to win this, especially since
Justin Moore.
That guy. I couldn't think of his name for some reason. It was confirmed Achilles, right?
Yeah, it was.
Especially since he got injured, his Achilles, we kind of figured it was going to be Kansas pretty easily. And Kansas showed up. Kansas did what they do. 81-65 was the final. There were times when Villanova would kind of make a run, and then Kansas just shuts the door.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Some notable stats from Villanova. Connor Gillespie had 17. Slater had 16, and Daniels had 13. Gillespie and Daniels both played 39 minutes. And off the bench, they only had 3 points. That was by Antoine. He played 19 minutes, so I guess he was the main guy that they were circling around. It's just insane seeing all these guys play close to 40 minutes. Like you don't realize it when you're watching the game, but then you look at the box score, it's like, wow, he played a whole game.
It really is crazy to think about. But in the biggest games, you got to have your best players on the floor. And looking at Villanova, Gillespie, he's had a great college career. And, it was sad to see him go out like that. Obviously, super emotional playing his last game as a Wildcat, but he had a great college career. This team really struggled without Justin Moore on the floor. And it was obvious. I mean, Kansas was the better team. Kansas is just so fast when they get down the floor. And, they get you in transition, as they run down the floor so fast and on their fast breaks and stuff. And, they're a really hard team to play with, especially when your guys are playing upwards of 40 minutes. That gets tiring. So Kansas was definitely the better team. But I felt for Justin Moore. I don't know if you saw pregame when they were doing like the starting lineups, and Jay Wright, Coach Wright was sitting there talking to him, and you could just see him like tears and stuff, like I should be playing in this game, and you just feel so bad for him because like he should have been playing, and that could have made the game a lot different. But I still think Kansas would have won. Kansas was the best team.
Yeah, and you're a college athlete, so you'll eventually play your last game. And the wave of emotion that comes over you, because I've been there before, it's hard to explain what it feels like, but yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
So obviously, I feel for Gillespie. Heck of a career. I don't know if he'll play pro, at least not in the NBA. I don't know if he's got really the pro game. Maybe overseas. But yeah, switching over to Kansas now. Baji had 21. McCormick had 25. McCormick has really made some big strides the past couple of games. I know in Big 12 play, he was a little inconsistent. He didn't really play a whole lot, streaky minutes, because he was nursing an injury, I believe, midway through the year. But he's really stepped it up when he needed to, and he played really well against Big Pop for most of the night last night. And yeah, this Kansas team, we mentioned they're either really good or subpar, and they were really good the last two games that they needed to be.
Yeah.
Brown also had 20. Wilson had 11. I don't know. I mean, Kansas, they were firing in all cylinders. They shot 54% from three-point range, 53% from field goals in general. They made 10 of 13 free throws, so very efficient scoring night, Friday night.
And it was the whole game. They started off on it was the whole game.
Yeah.
They started off on a 9-0 run, I believe, and Villanova never got the lead the whole game. Kansas controlled the game. They played their game, and they showed that they were the best team.
Yeah, so that sets up the national championship last night. Technically the third year in a row that a Big 12 team has been in the finals, without including 2020. 2019 was Tech, who lost. 21 was Baylor, who won, and then 22 Kansas. We could throw in 2020, but some people don't agree. North Carolina, Kansas. North Carolina, 8 seed. That shouldn't have been an 8 seed. Kansas, the 1 seed, who was, in fact, the 1 seed. This game, early, I thought it was going to get out of hand. I thought we were going to have a repeat of last year. And I don't know, I was worried because I wanted to see a good game this year because my team wasn't in it. But, second half started, whole different Kansas team. A completely different Kansas team from the first half. And, yeah, largest comeback in championship game history, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
So insane performance there by the Jayhawks. Bill Self really got them going in at halftime. Looking at some of the numbers for North Carolina first, Baycott played 38 minutes on an injured ankle. He rolled it late in the game against Duke, played almost every minute, went out with 30 seconds left. He ended up putting 15 points, 15 boards. Most of those rebounds were in the first half. Manick had 13. RJ Davis had 15. Colby Love had 13. Love shot 5 for 24, so very inefficient shooting performance, 1 of 8 from three-point range. One of the big things I'm seeing right now is three-point percentage for North Carolina. They only shot 5 for 23. That's 21%.
Can't win a natty with that.
Yeah, that's rough. Because usually, like this whole tournament, they were shooting very efficient from three. They let Baylor up from three, like every possession, it felt like.
Yeah. They weren't missing any shots in the last 3 games they played.
Yeah, they were locked in from deep. This game was a little different. Maybe it was Kansas had a little bit better defensive pressure, or maybe they just got tired because they were playing all these minutes. Their legs, I mean, I don't want to say they were tired, but fatigue is a thing. And maybe they were kind of fatigued. I mean, who knows? They were playing 7 guys all tournament.
Yeah.
So this is what their 6th game of the tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
64. Yeah. So fatigue might have been a thing, might have not have been, but either way, not efficient from 3, and that's really what hurt them this game. Uh, Looking at Kansas's box score, they didn't really have a guy go off, so to speak. I mean, Wilson had 15, McCormick had 15, Ron and Obaji both had 12. They didn't have a guy go off for 20 like what we've been seeing, but they all played really well, especially the second half. I mean, looking at the two halves, UNC outscored them by 15 in the first half, 40-25. In the second half, Kansas 47-29.
That's crazy.
And yeah, there's a run, I think, by North Carolina in the first half where they scored what, 10 unanswered at one point.
They closed the first half on like a 26-8 run or something crazy like that to get up by 15.
Yeah, because I thought they started off 7-0, and then it was kind of back and forth for a little bit, and then Carolina just had a crazy run to end it.
Yeah.
And then the second half, Kansas opens up with a crazy run to draw back. Like, it was a very good title game, probably one of the best ones in recent memory. I can't really remember the 2019 between Tech and Nova.
It was Tech and Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
That was a great game, back and forth in that game too.
And so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a fantastic way to end the tournament. And after, they show that one shining moment, which is always a cool thing to watch. But what was your take on this game? I know you're gonna be all over Brady Manick. He's your boy.
Yeah. I was obviously, I mean, everyone knows I was rooting for North Carolina, so hated to see him go down in the championship. But the big matchup for me in this game was Baycott versus McCormick down low. I mean, they were going at it the whole game. It seemed like they were just feeding it down low and letting Baycott do his thing. And then same thing with McCormick. And that was a big thing, that last possession when Baycott went down. And I'm a guy who's going to tell you that if Baycott doesn't roll his ankle there, that North Carolina wins. And I truly believe that. Because then you go down the floor and you got Brady Manick guarding McCormick. Like, that's not going to end well. Brady Manick's not a big, I mean, he's tall, but he's a stretch big. He's not made to be defended in the post, So that didn't end well for them. But that matchup between McCormick and Baycott was really fun to watch. They really got after each other. A big guy the reason why Kansas won, I think, was Remy Martin coming off the bench. He hit 4 threes. He was 4 for 6 from 3. And I guarantee all of those came in the second half. He was kind of their spark, in my opinion. He hit some clutch threes to get them back in the game, and then he hit 1 or 2 that gave them the lead at one point, and that just got the crowd behind them, and the whole team gave them energy. So Remy Martin was the spark for Kansas, in my opinion, and the reason why they were able to pull off the comeback.
Yeah. You sent me a video, I think, on Twitter earlier today, and it looked like one of the court's boards kind of popped up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a real video or not, but if it's real, you can't be letting that happen at an NCAA national championship game.
No.
Like, something's got to take place where everything's secure and there's no risk of that, because that could have ended really bad for Baycott.
And you got to hate that for Baycott. No, I mean, you can't control that your foot slipped like that because of the floor. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he purposely rolled his ankle, obviously. But, you feel for Baycott because, I mean, the whole team, all North Carolina, they gave everything they had. Now, they didn't play their best game in the second half, and they have to take responsibility, and they will, and they own that. But, they laid it all on the floor. Both teams did, and that's what you love to see when it gets to this time, the national championship. Both teams will do anything to win the game. And that's the best kind of basketball. That's what you love to see. And that for any sport, but especially in basketball, you love seeing guys dive on the floor for loose balls, doing everything in their power to win the game. And I thought both teams showed that last night.
Yeah, for sure. Love to see it for the Big 12. Hate to see it for Bill Self. I'm going to go ahead and climb 3 years in a row for Big 12, though.
All right.
2020, is it going to be Baylor or Kansas? Probably not Kansas. Next year is down in Houston. So Big 12 territory.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make it up 4 years in a row.
I think it probably will happen, honestly.
It's insane because all the hype was Big 12 or SEC. SEC didn't have a single team in the Final Four. I don't. Did they have one in the Elite Eight? They had
Um,
no.
Arkansas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, they had
Ended
Arkansas
up
in the
being
Elite
Big
Eight.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah. Big 12. Still the best conference in basketball.
yeah.
Not
The
going
Big 12 is the best conference in basketball for sure.
Speaking of Big 12, Bowlesby stepped down today.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I saw that. He's been there since 2012, right? The commissioner.
11 or 12. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
So interesting to see where the Big 12 goes. Bowlesby caught a lot of flack, especially in I want to say 2012 to 2015 era, from naming Baylor and TCU co-champions in 13 or 14, I think.
yeah, I remember that.
So stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Letting OU and Texas basically walk out. But
Yeah.
then, he did pick up good teams, not really great big names, but good team names: Cincinnati, Houston, BYU, and UCF. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say about Bowlesby's stint as Big 12 commish. There's been a lot of good, been a lot of bad.
Definitely.
No football championships during his stint. I think that was the third basketball championship, I want to say. No.
That's
Baylor and
sounds all right.
I'm not counting 2020. I can't remember
That
if we
sounds all right.
had another team win in the mid 2010s.
Kansas, their last one was 08, so it wouldn't have been Kansas again.
And that was only the second one because
Yeah,
no one else has done anything. Well, no one else done anything, but no one's won a championship. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about Bowlesby or the Final Four, I guess. We mentioned Doug in the transfer portal, right?
yes. And their other two stars.
Where do you think Dougie ends up at?
I don't know. I feel like he's trying to go big.
Where did old coach go to?
I know he went to wasn't it Seton Hall?
Might have been.
It was his alma mater, wherever it was. I'm pretty sure it was Seton Hall. That sounds right. Now I'm thinking about it.
He might follow him, or he might try to go small Power 5.
Yeah, good. What's crazy to me to think about is how big Doug was, and he wasn't even a starter for that
Right.
St. Peter's team.
He's just some dude with a mustache shooting threes.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a tournament! Got a whole 9 months till we get back into it. Future episodes Thursday. We got opening day. Might go live, might not go live. Gotta look into it. I don't know if I can add him on our live YouTube. If we go live, make sure when we go live, y'all follow, interact with us, because we'll see all the comments as it's happening.
Definitely.
Definitely something fun, cool to do. Yeah, I think that's our last Tuesday episode for a little while. Other events coming up, we got the NBA playoffs starting pretty soon. The draft lottery during that also. The NFL draft, which is on Thursday, we will talk about the first couple picks for sure. We won't do too many because they take so long.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's about it. Got anything you want to add?
Like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to have you on the podcast. Please reach out to us. We'd love to have you on as a guest, coming and talking about sports. We'll see you Thursday.
See you guys.